Megan was born in Tennessee back on May 16, 1986, and her early life was shaped by religious beliefs, family turmoil, and a deep passion for the arts. Megan was raised as a devout Pentecostal, later attending Catholic school for 12 years, which seems so different. The juxtaposition between her being raised in religion to then becoming a sex symbol and then dating a guy who, like Machine Gun Kelly, he just kind of gives me evil vibes. At just 3 years old, Megan's parents divorced, an event that left a lasting impact on her. Her mother, Gloria, later remarried and moved the family to Florida. However, Megan's relationship with her stepfather, Tony, was strained. She described him as very strict and emotionally abusive. Quote, he was emotionally, mentally, and verbally very abusive, which definitely did not help her home life when she would get out of Catholic school and go home to angry stepfather Tony. And all of this instability at a young age, it has its toll. She battled with eating disorders and was described as manic depressed. In an interview with CR Fashion, she admitted, I did experience some trauma in childhood, which was influential on her career.
You were vulnerable, opened up and talked about your body dysmorphia. Putting it out there, and for other women who are going through the same issues, how did you overcome that? How do you still overcome that? And what advice do you have?
I don't think I overcome it. It's why I'm extremely introverted and I don't do a lot of events. It is really hard for me. This morning was really hard for me, like working myself up into knowing where I was coming and what I was going to do. And it's also when you have to live that as a celebrity, where you know that every photo of you is analyzed down to like every eyelash and eyebrow hair and every acne scar. And you know that your faults are so, people comb through everything to find all the faults they can instead of just being like, hey, this is a healthy, nice girl. You know, that's not something that is an option for me.
Even from that interview clip, you can tell that Megan overthinks everything. She's constantly in her head. But she found refuge in the performing arts. At the age of 5, she began training in dance and drama. Her breakthrough moment happened when she was 13 years old. She attended the 1999 American Modeling and Talent Convention in Hilton Head, South Carolina, and she won multiple awards. I mean, one thing you can't take away from Megan is that she is a beautiful woman. She's striking.
I always told my mother that I wanted to be an actress since before I can remember. And I think, you know, maybe it started with Judy Garland and Wizard of Oz, but I've just never had any desire to do anything else. And I'm not really sure why.
So with Megan doing these talent conventions, she got a little taste of the industry and she wanted more. She left Florida at 17 years old to move to LA and pursue acting full time. Soon after arriving in Hollywood, she landed her first major acting role. She debuted in Holiday in the Sun in 2001, a teen comedy starring Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, which if you guys want a podcast about them, comment below. She was also featured in The Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen alongside Lindsay Lohan. And it seems like at this point, Megan Fox was starting to get cast as the same character, kind of like a bitchy girl.
The first legitimate thing I booked was a straight-to-DVD film with Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen called Holiday in the Sun. I think my character's name was Brianna, if I remember, and she was a mean girl. She was the spoiled, rich, nasty sort of alpha female that picked on the nice, sweet, blonde Olsen twins. I don't know if people try to typecast me as that. I think I just sort of, for whatever reason, fell in to playing a mean girl, and I think more so because there are many more blonde actresses than there are brunette actresses, and so the chances of the heroine being blonde are statistically greater, and so then you want a visual opposite to portray the evil girl, and I am that opposite, I guess.
Now, Megan may have started off playing the evil girl, but that did not last long, and this is when she started to be sexualized by the industry. Megan's career took off in 2007 when she landed the role of Michaela Baines in Michael Bay's Transformers movie. The blockbuster film catapulted her to international fame, but it also introduced her to the darker side of Hollywood. Practically overnight, Megan Fox became one of the most talked about women in entertainment, and not for her acting abilities, but her appeal, her sexual appeal. When Transformers hit theaters, Megan was a global sensation, and I actually remember seeing that movie in the theaters and everyone was talking about her. Chris Lee Lee of the LA Times described her as the first bona fide sex symbol of the 21st century. However, Megan's instant rise to fame proved to be a double-edged sword because as she started to get more attention, she was hired to be one thing, to be hot or just to be sexy. And everywhere that Megan went, she was objectified. They looked at her as not even a human. I mean, even on press tours, she had to answer questions about her looks and her appeal.
I think, the character is sexy, but women in movies in general are sexy, and especially in Michael's movies, and he knows how to make movies that get people in the theater, and if that's part of it, if that's part of the formula.
But if you look at the movie, we got that first shot out of the way just to get it out for the young boys and move on.
Her co-star Shia LaBeouf even acknowledged Michael Bay's particular approach when filming women. This director is a creep. Quote, Michael films women in a way that appeals to the 16-year-old sexuality, Shia said. We actually have a clip of Shia LaBeouf talking about Megan while filming, and here's that clip.
The firemen don't say anything to her, and the policemen don't say anything to her. Why? She's Megan Fox, homie.
It's so awkward to hear them describe her because they are clearly objectifying her. Like, she's not even a human with feelings. Don't talk to her because she's the trophy. Megan's audition for Transformers also sparked controversy. Rumors circulated that she was asked to wash Michael Bay's car while he filmed her. It claimed that widely became accepted in the media. However, Megan later clarified that this was not the case. She said, these specific instances were inconsequential in the long and arduous journey along which I've endured some genuinely harrowing experiences in a ruthless, misogynistic industry. Well, that's a mouthful. Here's some more footage of Michael Bay and Megan interacting while filming the Transformers scene.
Did you do that? That's pretty hot. Woo, mama, yeah!
I've never been touched by anybody like that before.
Megan, you gonna give it good to me?
You're throwing those on him?
Yeah.
No, and then I'm gonna slap your ass with this towel.
Not Michael Bay talking about spanking one of his castmates. I mean, seriously, that's so unprofessional. Megan's experiences on Michael Bay's sets were particularly controversial. Even before Transformers, Megan had encountered Michael Bay's questionable directing methods. At just 15 years old, she appeared in Bad Boys 2 in 2003 in a scene that raised some ethical concerns. And now we're talking about that really inappropriate scene that Megan should have never been cast in. In a 2009 interview with Jimmy Kimmel, Megan actually shared that she was sexualized by director Michael Bay when she was only a teenager. In the clip, Megan tells Jimmy that she was 15 years old on the set of Bad Boys 2 and was made to wear stars and striped bikinis and a red cowboy hat and like 6-inch heels. When Michael Bay was told that Megan Fox wasn't allowed to sit at the bar for one of the scenes because she was underage, the actress said that his solution was to have her dancing underneath a waterfall getting soaking wet. And that's not the first time that Megan had been over-sexualized at a young age. Megan was also featured in 2.5 Men. This article reads, despite only being 16 years old, Megan Fox's Prudence is constantly dressed in skimpy outfits or shown seductively washing windows or sunbathing. Megan claims the 2.5 Men role was very uncomfortable in hindsight because she was only 17 years old. She said the joke of having two middle-aged men lusting after her is just kind of weird because, again, it's illegal. And just to give you guys an idea of what Megan is describing here, here's a clip of 2.5 Men.
Nana, did you throw out my cigarettes again?
Oh my gosh. I mean, they really have her wearing nothing with sleeves.
Dear God.
Isn't she wonderful?
Oh, God. Well, I'd better get started on that work.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I remember seeing this as a kid too. And like, she does not seem like a 17-year-old teenager.
I have to do.
Yeah, I gotta catch up on some paperwork at the office.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you've got the two men here awkwardly like talking about work because they're both just trying to wait each other out to see who can keep watching Megan clean this window with a sponge, which who cleans a window like this anyways? It's so weird.
Good job. Chiropractor job.
Now, Jennifer's Body and Jonah Hex were two significant examples of films that contributed to the over-sexualization of Megan Fox. Jennifer's Body, a horror comedy directed by Karen Kusama and written by Diablo Cody, initially faced criticism with its marketing campaign that it focused too much on Megan's sex appeal. The movie's promotion emphasized Megan's physical appearance, with trailers and posters showcasing her provocative poses. The marketing strategy for Jennifer's Body was problematic because it targeted young men instead of the intended female audience. Men aren't gonna like this film, girls are going to. Interestingly, Jennifer's Body has gained cult-like status and is now recognized for its feminist themes and clever social commentary, which actually I watched this movie not too long ago, probably within the last year or two, and I really did enjoy it. I didn't watch it back in 2009 though. Jonah Hex, which came out in 2010, was an adaptation of a DC comic, and it continued to typecast Megan Fox as a sexy character. In this film, Megan played Lila, a character introduced as an SCX worker who helps out the main character in the film, though I've never seen Jonah Hex. Comment below if you guys have seen this. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.